Okay, I've been putting this off long enough. Here it is, my review of Zargabaath. Zargabaath is a review that I messed up originally on, and I apologize for it. I don't know exactly what happened during the review process, whether it was just, hey, I just didn't do my research enough, or I didn't really overly have a ton of time to think about it. But Zargabaath is a review that I've never been happy with, and here is my chance to correct it. So this belongs to a member on my friend list called Fafnir. Give a shout out to you. Thank you very much. This gives me a pretty good look into what Zargi is like. Now, Zargi is a global exclusive unit and a pretty damn good example that I think, well, Alum doesn't, or Gummy doesn't exactly know how to build a very balanced unit, at least for the time that it came out. Zargabaath has always been touted to me as being a buffer unit. So when I've heard that Zargabaath was basically a buffer unit, I originally thought to myself, looking at Zargi's kit, that I just wasn't a big fan of it. It seemed to be missing a couple of things that were really important, a nice AoE buff. Looking at what has happened in his 7-star, he got a nice cooldown ability that is pretty just repeatable. Prismatic Barrier, which gives 60% all elements resistance for 3 turns, as well as an AoE plus 100% stat break resistance, and enables triple cast of his abilities. Then there's Arcadian Crest that gives 150% buff for 5 turns to a single target and removes debuffs. Again, strong, but not AoE. Vengeance Blade, which is a 8-hit chaining ability, which I am now 100% convinced does not belong there. I guess it's nice to generally have, but you're never going to really be using this guy as a chainer, I still don't think, and am 100% convinced. And Arcadia's Might, a AoE buff and damage reduction that also enables triple cast on a 6-turn cooldown available turn 1. Now, a couple of mistakes that I made, or at least one big mistake, was I said that equipping a shield to this guy, turns out he can't equip shields, but that's pretty okay. Looking at the ways a lot of people had built him on the kit, and specifically Fafnir, it's pretty evident that you can build him across the board for a lot of elemental, full status protection, and evasion too. And that does make him just very, 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 very strong. Potentially he is a unit that you can just clear very difficult trials with that underdeveloped teams maybe should not be able to, such as Gilgamesh. The original Gilgamesh, well, I guess Gilgamesh Kai isn't out on the JPs, or on the global side yet. The advanced version, whatever. Anyway, point is, yeah, Zargi here, he can get through stuff that a lot of other people can't. So just going into it, this will not go particularly well for us, but that's totally fine, because we are just here to demo. Let's use Arcadia's Might. And we will just try and, well, we'll try and do anything to survive for a turn. Oh, we actually did fairly decent damage with our Fravia. That's nice. Having to use Barrel as a healer feels, well, it feels bad, man. But yeah, when it comes right down to it, this guy already has his enhancements and everything. So I want to talk about what I've seen in the JV side. And for people who are going to comment that Primrose doesn't belong in this conversation, yeah, I'm still going to include her in this conversation. Because even if Primrose doesn't come to the global side, I assume that some kind of buffer with her power level will show up roughly about the same time, with 200% stab boost on a limit burst, elemental infusing, as well as a couple of other things. And in that case, I think that while Zargabaath is particularly strong, evasion builds don't only go so far into the future. There are a lot of trials that are starting to show up that just don't give any shits about evasion. Yeah, you can build your team for evasion and you will die. The only place that evasion holds a lot of merit still is in Arena, and who gives a shit about Arena? Honestly, it's just one of the most boring modes to play. But taking a look at, oh, what the hell, let's show off some chaining. See if we can't get a little bit more damage. Here we'll just, I don't know, throw... Oh, I guess we need to do some light damage, right? Otherwise he'll just smash us to pieces. Oh yeah, I'm not playing the JP version, so I can't do that. That's disappointing. Oh, look at us go. We're doing way better than the last time I played this. Debuff, and we'll just throw up that? I don't know. Anyway, so looking at him into the future, I still say that he falls out against a lot of buffers just because evasion only holds so much spot. And in terms of elemental resistance, yeah, elemental resistance is very, very important into the future. As a matter of fact, it's massively important, I would even go so far as to say. So let's just... But the first time I cleared this trial using maybe even things I should not have been, but Zargabaath can clear a lot of stuff. He is a good support unit, and I think the most valuable thing into his future will be his elemental resistance. And for people who are underestimating it, you really shouldn't. Zargabaath's elemental resistance of 60% across the board is just really, really, really strong. Oh, would you look at that? I think we'll maybe get there. Hey, we did it. Nice. Zargabaath's attacks, he does have some power to him. He can be a general all-purpose unit to help people get through trials early, and his evasion build is a successful one, as well as having a lot of status resistance and elemental protection. Into his future, the only thing that I can see that will make him, truly be a long-term unit in terms of other buffers is that his elemental protection is just so strong and recastable. But with that being said, I still think he will fall out into the future versus quite a few other top-tier breaker or buffers and just multi-purpose units that are just better statted into the future. That isn't to say that by any means Zargabaath is bad. I've seen 16k HP builds with, evasion and everything in the works. But yeah, there will be better units in the future, of course. Zargabaath will be eventually outpower crept. He's already has his enhancements, so he only has so far to go. But I still foresee some life with him into the future, and I think more than anything that he is a really, really good unit right now. Absolutely really, really good. So, yeah, Zargabaath. Good unit. Hopefully everyone's happy about this review. Probably not, though. 'Tis the internet. Anyway, all of you take care, and I will see you next time.